हरे कृष्ण ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिनि। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणि निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. So I welcome all of you for our morning purport discussion. So we were discussing about prayers. So I have a few more points to share with all of you for prayers. This is very important topic to be understood. So yesterday I promised that I share. Anyway, we have quite a good time today. So here we were discussing how what should be the state of people in this world. They are actually trying for love. Now everyone walks and talks about wants to talk about this love, but rarely anyone can understand this real and pure love. It is not actually very cheap commodity, and especially the true love has nothing to do with new age fantasies like universal divine love, and then they call even the Vedic followers also divine love and all these things. This is actually not very easy. And then there is because the real love is savai pumsam paro dharmo ito bhakti rasakshi. That is only the love that is possible. And when it comes to what is the secret of true love, how can we properly pass through the test of God who He sends us? Then only how do we tamper our hearts, and what should we ask from our prayers? So all these things are very important to learn, because the original scriptures of mankind, there are three paths that are described: karma, jnana, and then bhakti. Now, here, jnana karmascha bhaktischa nopayo anya sti kurhichit. So, this is actually Buddha says. Now, in the early ages, those who choose karma had a very strictly fulfilling their duties, observing numerous rules of purity, followed severe vows, performed rituals from the Vedas with impeccable accuracy. This purified their consciousness and avoided them residence in the heavenly planets. But nowadays, what happened to this path is it became a dubious tantric practices and cleansing of diets you're eating, and there is prosperity mantras. You chant this mantra, you get prosperity, and astrological fortune tellers and cheap good luck rituals. All these things are nowadays what is karma. And when it comes to jnana is actually it's an empirical knowledge of absolute truth, meant to reunion of the world, mastering the mind and senses, exercising repentance and austerities, and profound study of scriptures and all these things. But nowadays, what remained in jnana is people they don't understand why all these things. Now, in the popular culture, what is jnana? It is simplified in versions of mindfulness, transcendental meditation, gym yoga, and experimentation and psychedelic substances and all these techniques of letting go. These are things that are nowadays practiced as yoga. So it is all degraded. Karma and gnana are practically inaccessible to people in Kali Yuga. So when you people say Varnashram Dharma, it's not accessible only. There is no possibility. Our undisciplined and unclean lifestyle make it impossible to perform karmic rituals. And our minds, they are wedged down by stress and it is contaminated by impure food, water, and all these things. So there is no way. So anyway, we will come to our points of prayer, some of the things how we have to uh, there should be courage to pray. So the prayers are not confined to simply glorifying Krishna. They always contain some kind of request, which in turn reflects the petition's binding relationship with Krishna. So the degree of their intimacy, that is the degree of their trust they have on the Lord. So when Kunti is asking, send me danger, it is basically proving her trust in Krishna. Let me pour down upon my head as if a form of so like uh, so what she is telling, let adversities trials upon me every day, for they help me remember you and feel your presence. So this is very few people understand exactly what this is, because Kunti has uh, invested in it her most profound sense of trust in God. That is the point. Like we cannot do it. Whether we pray to Krishna or not, adversities and trial will anyway come, and that is the way of this world, right? Hearing this prayer, Krishna will hardly send any difficulty to us beyond what is due in our karma, but he may give us strength to overcome these difficulties. So this prayer helps us to see God's mercy behind the calamities in our life. That is the point. Otherwise, His mercy will go like what we discussed yesterday. And people generally they pray for well-being. So by citing, and now the reason for some many prayers that are there, people pray and all these things, because it is very important. Bhakti yoga is a path of spiritual emotions culminating in a overwhelming love. So, and prayer is a way of expressing these emotions. So, without prayers, there is no bhakti only. Prayer is vandanam. So, in one of the nine methods of bhakti, we have this shravanam, kirtanam. So, this smaranam, in every smaranam, which should be mastered before, we'll be able to offer prayers feelingly. We should be able to remember. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us that we can enter into the true meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam only by studying under the guidance of an experienced Vaishnava. Otherwise, it is not possible to develop that prayerful mood. And even if we read prayers of great devotees, not with our head, but with our heart, then to some extent, we will be able to feel the love for Krishna. And like say now, today if I ask how much, like yesterday I was asking in the class, this is exercise we should do every day. Okay, today what did I do for Krishna? Just for his pleasure, nothing for me. Only for his pleasure I did. And if we didn't do now, at least we can do something. Okay, this class which I am hearing, it is Krishna only for you. I don't want anything for you. You be pleased because I am hearing about you. That's how we need to develop this feeling. Okay, selflessly, I do something for Krishna. I don't want anything in return for this. Let him be pleased because I am hearing about him. So, this is a relationship. Say, I wanted to do something for my people. I don't need to get anything in return. I just did for their pleasure. So this is for we are hearing this class and I am speaking this class only for pleasure of Krishna. Let Krishna be happy. And that's it. I don't want anything in return. So this is where we develop our heart is becoming softer and softer. So we read the prayers, the heart is like a mirror. And if it is pure enough, it can reflect the feelings invested by great devotees into their prayers. And then it will install that spiritual greed, lobha, and desire to love Krishna is purely manifested. This is how the prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam that will help us. This is gives us prayojana tattva, the ultimate goal, the aspiration. Mm. Yes, Gil Mataji.
Hi, Krishna Prabhu. Can you explain a little further how reading prayers with our head looks like versus reading prayers with our heart?
Yeah, because our prayers are seldom sincere or fervent because our hearts are close to God. If our mouth, actually, what happens is we don't know how to pray. When we learn from them, we have to try to see what they are feeling. Like instead of just technically understanding, it looks same only. Now, Kunti Maharani is praying, we cannot know her heart, but if we go through what she's experiencing and how she's doing it, then it may make some change in our heart. How much she is praying, like we sing the songs of Narottam Das Thakur. So when we sing what he is feeling, then we try to put our emotions and try to understand. It's not technically understanding. Oh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling Amara Jivan Sada Pape Rata Nahi ko Punyera Lesha Parera Udvega Diya Kota Diya Jivera. He's saying, oh, Amara Jivan, my life is all sinful. I am fallen soul. So when he's feeling, we have to put our heart and feel what. So then there will be some change. Like he's telling, Gopinath Mama Nivedana Suno. He's telling, oh Gopinath, please hear me. Vishayi Jana Sada Kamerata. So he's telling, I'm full of lust, I'm full of greed. So he's putting so much in the heart and doing. So maybe we'll also develop that feeling that is with the heart. So with the mind means then we'll technically understand. Oh, okay, he's suffering from greed, he's suffering from lust. So it won't make. And it takes time for us to put our heart and hear what they are feeling. So like now we are hearing Brahmaji's prayers. So what generally I do is we technically understand. So what this mean, what this mean, what this mean. We are trying to understand the meaning of the words, how it is connected to this. But it's not just the meaning; it's also the heart of that person which we need to understand. What he is feeling when he is offering. And Kunti is telling, "Give me calamities." So if you just say the direct meaning is "Give me calamities," but if you understand with the heart, then we see that oh, it is not just calamities. That is the trust she has in Krishna. So that's where we try to understand with our heart. So we are trying to understand that person who is speaking. So it makes it will also we'll also develop that greed. That lobha will come because with our heart, then to certain extent it will be able to feel the love for Krishna contained in them. So the heart is like a mirror, and if it is pure enough, it can reflect the feelings invested by that great devotees into the prayers, and that will give us greed also. That's what I'm understanding.
Okay, so when you hear with your head only, you're just like you said, understanding the meaning of the words of these pure devotees. But when you hear with your heart, you are you are trying to understand the mood with which they are saying those prayers, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know if you're advocating for us to also try to have those feelings, because in a conditioned state, right? It would, to do that seems like it would be a little artificial, no?
Yeah, see, first for us, what is the prayer? Oh, our prayer is, my dear Lord, I don't know how to play. Please forgive me.
I don't
Essentially,
want to what?
prayer we should learn. That I I don't know how to pray. So this is the prayer that we develop now. I don't know how to pray. Just I repeat their prayers. We should feel how nice it would be if I learn to pray sincerely.
Mm.
So this is what should inspire us by seeing their praise because they have love. They are able to feel for him. If I don't have relation, I cannot feel. If I am calling my mother, I have relation with my mother, so I can feelingly talk. I can feelingly express. If I am talking to somebody, I will not have that feeling. I say okay, hi, bye, and everything. But there is some relationship, then there is feeling. I can feelingly ask or say something, and I can demand something because I have a relation with my mother. But with Krishna, I don't have that relation. I have artificial it is because I have to develop that feeling slowly, slowly to Krishna. By rendering service to him and praying, 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 we may also get. Initially, the prayers are save me, help me, have mercy, so all these things. So, but the this is not the prayer. It is not in full sense because in there is the prayer comes. It's not just two prayers are actually expresses our conscious attempts to genuinely make way for God as the center of our consciousness as we take our appropriate place on the means I am servant of Krishna. So it is only born in a heart that feels God's constant presence and connection with him. The sambandha is there, then the prayers will come. So until this connection is not there, we will not actually pray, but we are learning to pray and learning to harmonize our heart with the prayerful words of great devotees.
So therefore, when we hear the prayers of great devotees, the an appropriate prayer would be to say something like, "Dear Krishna, please bring me to the point where I also will sincerely make
Yeah,
a prayer like this."
yeah, because a
That's
genuine prayer is an act of profound inner humbleness and trust in God. So where we have transcended our pride, let's yesterday we discussed, where we have transcended our prayer, our conception of what is right and wrong, and we have developed transcended ourselves, our pride, and what is wrong and right. So in
wait.
a
I didn't understand. You said, can you repeat this last line about
so,
transcending this and that?
so
What is this?
transcending ourselves means I am just self-conscious. Second is our pride. I am such and such, I am such and such, and our conception of what is right and what is wrong. So these are the things that are holding us in offering true praise. Now I have my conception of what is right and wrong. I have my pride holding on to me. And I am self-centered, always thinking about myself, my good and all. So that is how we are caught in this world. But I just want to do something helplessly for Krishna. That's what I am telling that we have to every day do little bit for Krishna. And slowly, slowly we develop that feeling for him. And so we dare to feel our helplessness and dependence on God. So only a humble
When-
heart capable of constant prayer.
So when you say that we need to transcend our sense of right and wrong, how is having a sense of right and wrong a stumbling block?
Oh, it is the biggest stumbling block because I always feel things should happen this way. This is right, this is wrong. But Lord has a different formula only. Because now if we say what happened to Pandavas, we feel oh it's so wrong happened. But that is what our understanding. But we say okay, this is what Krishna wants. Okay, then it's okay for me. So generally
Oh,
things don't happen
because
the way I want. So I
there's a
feel
different
bad.
sense of right and wrong. There's a sense of right and wrong based on what Krishna would like and what Krishna would not like. That's a different sense of right and wrong, no?
Yeah. If
Okay.
I want it that way, that's all. Like say now for me, my authorities may be right or wrong. But if right or wrong does not matter. If Krishna want that they come and chastise me, it's okay for me.
So you're saying that the stumbling blocks we have to overcome is our own idea of what is right and wrong
Yeah.
versus what Chris. And then another one is
Or
our
pride.
pride. Our by pride you mean in this context you mean
I already know that I am such a important person, great person, intelligent person, and I can. That is already there. This is the ignorance I already have about myself. So I have my own things that are holding me in this world.
okay. And then third thing
I am also
was
no less, right? I am also no less. I am also sufficiently
I'm
intelligent.
You said what was the third thing? I couldn't understand.
I'm sufficiently intelligent person. I am no less. That is my
That's
pride.
the same as pride, right? That's the
Yeah.
same as. Uh, okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
So only a humble heart is capable of constant prayers. If we seek independence, which everybody want, then we have no. Then we can have no one to pray to, because by praying to someone, we are actually are expressing our dependence. It is with this reunion of independence that two prayers will begin. So we can pray that someday we'll learn to pray. That's now we like Prabhupada and so many examples. No, I just told I'll discuss about three types of prayer. So first is Sampratnatmika, that is, it's actually the prayer in where is the sincere fervent prayers for complete surrender and for complete overcoming the abbas that separates us from God. So it is where the true bhakti begins when we start these prayers, because it is a prayer from the heart that has realized its indifference and disconnection from God. So it is actually painful truth that is in front of us. So what is the point is we don't care about Krishna now. We need to we need him to serve our interest. Now Krishna should help me to get my things done. And we constantly beg him. We go to temple, people go and without realizing they put what they want to obtain from God. So because Duryodhana went to Krishna, he didn't want Krishna, he wanted his army. And this is the mentality people want. They go to Lord, they go to temple, but they don't want Lord. They want something he should give me. So this is they and they also feel right, what kind of God he is if he does not help me. Even on the path of bhakti also, people many continue to expect something from Krishna and they are regularly billing him for so-called service. Krishna, I did so many service for you. Last 20 years I am serving, and how can you do this for me? He says, Arey, you are charging me for all these services you have done for me. We give a bill to Krishna. So this is it is not actually clear to us immediately that so only through association of Vaishnavas we realize that our heart is dead. Dead in the sense we have nothing to say to Krishna. Even Krishna comes in front of us, immediately we think, what should I do? So then we began to pray that he bestows us with his. So what we have to pray is we want attachment to Krishna. So that's what we need to pray to Krishna. And actually, spiritual life begins with this awareness of our heart, heart's duplicity. That oh, my heart is not our. We are disconnected from Krishna. So these are two opposing forces that are tearing up. Some our soul is want to be closer to God and seeks Him, but and hankers from Him. But there is also another demand from the flesh, which is seeking for pleasure. So this way, this is Rupa Goswami gives this example of Yuvati Nam Yata Yunim. He says Yunam Cha Yuvatim Yata. He says that, oh my Lord, may the mind always find pleasure in you as the mind of a young girl finds pleasure in the thoughts of a young boy. So this is what he gives the example. So the material attachments can hold us hostage, and they are holding us also. Theoretically, we understand that we should be attached to Krishna, but the reality of heart is that heart cannot be commanded. So in the beginning, our attempts to become closer are dictated not by the heart. It is dictated by our intelligence because I am hearing, I am understanding, but heart is somewhere else. When we become aware of our duality, that there is split between my mind and my heart, then we start feeling that pain. That pain should uh, pour in the form of prayers. My dear Lord, I cannot do it. You please help me. Because there is so much resentment of our lost integrity, and then this is actually what is holding us. We can wish and petition, and it happened also. Many times I feel, "Arey, this is too much." You know, heart does not go only for Krishna. Whole day it want to do so many things, but not Krishna. Then we feel attraction there. So we have to petition the feeling and feel that, my dear Lord, I want really you. And then, so affection for Krishna and desire to entirely devote ourselves to Him, to His service, does not result from our efforts. This is very important. So this can be imparted to us only by Krishna or his devotees, because we cannot squeeze it out. Ourselves will not have power because our desires are very strong. So we pray to Krishna, please actually heal me, help me, restore my eternity. And I am tired being a split personality like this. And now, apart from me, want to release this material enjoyment, while on the other part of my heart it ends. Okay, let me become devotee of Krishna, because every day I'm hearing. Not only here, I'm speaking also. Now, when there are prayers by different great devotees, they say this is the essence. And even Kuntima, she is also saying, "Oh, sure, my attachment to Vrishnis and Pandus." So this is the Sampratmatika is the most important, because that is the beginning. Help us to feel attachment towards Krishna and offer ourselves to Krishna, our mind, our speech, our body. So some means beginning. It is some, sorry, it is the complete. Some pratnatmika is the complete. When Krishna believes us, then he will answer our prayers and he will heal us. Then so then we'll move to the next level, that is Danya Bodhika. So first is Krishna should believe in our prayers that I really want him. If he wants, and we will pray for that. Now presently that attachment is so strong that we don't want to take the risk of so next is Dainya Bodhika. So hope you understood Sanpratmatika. So basically the important point here is that we have two pullings, and we have to understand that these are holding me and I need to come to Krishna. So then we start praying. It is not when heart realizes, when we realize that, oh, I'm not able to do it, then slowly it is the true bhakti begins, because it is a prayer from the heart that I realize the indifference and disconnection from God. Hope you are understanding. So it is the beginning of our prayer. So it is not that I want from Lord, I want Him only. It's not like Duryodhana wanting the energy of army of Krishna. No, I want Him only directly. So that's how we should get attracted. But the material desires are keeping us hostage. Clear with some prapnatmika prayers. That means I am understanding that I am spiritual by nature, I am divine. A part of me wants to relish material enjoyment, while other is attracting to Krishna. So then I am captivated by the beauty of this world. I need to get captivated by Krishna. So these prayers will help us to feel our attachment to Krishna slowly, slowly. Hope it is clear. Now, Dainya Bodhika is Dainya means it is I am fallen. So the word Bodhika means acknowledgement. Thus, so a prayer from a person who has realized the extent of their fallen state. They can only spring from the heart, who have understood that, who has developed an attachment Krishna, he will feel that he is very fallen. This is a very high level. At the state of in the initial spiritual journey, we are unable to soberly assess the degree of our fallen state. It is not possible. And think, okay, because would be totally dejected if we are able to see that. So Krishna does not really reveal that how fallen we are. So looking into the distorted and constantly, so this is our present state. Yeah, one devotee is writing, because of my material desires only, I am not able to stand more than 4 or 5 minutes in front of deities, not able to offer prayers. At least you are able to stand for 5 minutes. 2 3 minutes only, it is sometime it becomes difficult. And if there is no purpose, the darshan is only for 1 minute 2 minute. Because we say, okay, I did my darshan, I took darshan, finish, I did my duty for today, because there is no feeling and attachment to Krishna. Yeah, I am telling because I want to develop all these things. I am trying to understand this properly so that it will help, and we'll all try to understand this. So Krishna is not revealing, not giving that realization how fallen we are. So when acharyas are singing this, they're they're having that attraction for Krishna. That's why they feel that they are fallen. Otherwise, they will not feel. So the Bodhika is when there is attraction for Krishna, then only a person feels he is very fallen. And this is at the beginning of spiritual life. It is not. Krishna does not reveal. So because we already we are wearing Vaishnav tilak and dress, so we are happy. So second stage of our devotional path begins with Nishta. And when a person attains stability, so sadhasanga, bhajanake, anarthanavritti, Nishta. So when a person attains stability and is truly eager to serve God, and nothing material makes any sense to such a person, and when they are re-established in spiritual integrity, the heart no longer is oscillates between God and material world. At the same time, he is understanding, my dear Lord, so much time I have wasted in vain, so many stupid things I have done, and even engaging in devotional service also, I did so many ridiculous things. So then the person starts regretting. Oh, that is where the second level of prayer comes. That is the Bodhika. And many acharyas, we see Yamanacharya in the Sikshashtakam third verse prays, and Ainanda Tanuja, Kim Karam, Patitamma, Mishame Bhavan Buddho. So all these prayers are basically that. There is not a single offense or sinful act I have performed. This is at the stage of Nishta. They already developed a very advanced stage. Not just one, thousands of offenses I have committed. So it's like Uh, so there is a question that the quote by instinct, the true definition of madness is repeating the same action over and over, hoping for a different result. How this concept or quote does not apply to repeating the same name of Lord again and again and expecting different outcome results. So here when Einstein is saying that you are repeating the same action over and over again, hoping a different result, he is telling in the sense that you are with the same state of mind, you are repeating the activity. No, you have to change your state of consciousness and you do the activity, you get a different result. So that is the point here. So repeating the same action means retrieving the same state of consciousness. But if you are growing in your consciousness, the result is different. Arjuna is fighting, Duryodhana is fighting, Shalya is fighting, but all the three got different result because it's not the activity, it's the state of mind. So it is a so it is not just repeating, it's actually repeating with a consciousness. That's why we have to make a conscious endeavor. Then we make a progress, we make difference in life. So he is telling, and there is also saying, he said the problem which you develop at certain level of state of mind, you cannot solve that problem at that level. You have to do be at a different level to solve the problem. So now Sampradanatika people think that this is the first thing. Oh, I am fallen. This prayer should come first. No, uh, sorry, Dainya Bodhika should come first. I am fallen state, and then Sampradanatika. I complete. But so we are used to thinking that prayers become with humility and repentance. Actually, that we are unable to admit our sins simply because we want to see them. So true humility is a matter of growing up. So at the initial stage of our spiritual life, our humility is not actually true. But at the very high stage, that is real humility. So because there is so much false humility many times. Because by mercy of Krishna and devotees, humility we start developing real humility after stage of nishta. And the third is lala samay. This is a high prayer. It is very easy to understand. The prayer is aspiring to attain some deep attachment to Krishna and develop some sort of service also. Sometimes people rush to Radha Kund and they wanted to because the Radha Kund, the tears of Raghunath Das Goswami are mixed in the Radha Kund. So, hoping to quickly attain such perfection, they wish to give their and they go and get some initiation where they are told what is there, all these things. So many aspects are tell your name, your age, your village, your transcendental service, and all. But it is not actually so easy. It's not just. mm, but right, uh, it's not so easy. Prabhupada says that first you deserve, and then desire. So this is very important for us to understand that outwardly we cannot attain that stage. It's a very high stage, and we need to pay the price for it. Then by crying and rolling in the dust of Vrindavan, we cannot just attain like that. We should really develop the qualities, and before asking Krishna for eternal service to him, we must first tearfully comprehend the full depth of our fallen and confess it to Krishna. But this is very elevated stage, and we should start with Sampratnatmika, then Dainyabodhika. Slowly we'll get that stage. And there is one few more points I just want to share before we go to our purport, because we are not two. Still, there's something called the prison of ego. So why does duality takes place? Take over us. I like, I don't like. What is so difficult for us to give the whole heart to Krishna from the beginning, despite having faith, desire, and goal also? Why do material nature? Uh, it Why do material desires continue to control our heart? Though we are awakened, we know it's not correct, but still, why? And Krishna is telling, Yesham Twantagatam Papam Jananam Purna Karmanam Tve Dunda Moha Nirmukta Bhajante Mam Drataha. Person who has acted piously in previous life and in this life, who is free from sinful, and he will engage in my service. So the sins and offenses are actually that we have committed in this life and previous life. They have kept us, they have left deep marks in our mind, and that prevents us from fully concentrating on serving Krishna. So the deep marks are there, the impressions are there. And it takes time for us to purify it from them and through the process. So the word sin is called agha in Sanskrit, aghasur. So it's sin personified. That means agha is also means it's such a great imprint in our consciousness, which is not allowing us to completely depend on. It leaves a deep mark, and since reinforce the soul's ignorant identification. We start identifying ourselves more deeply. That's why we say offenses are dangerous, but sin, what is sin doing? No? It is making us come into bodily consciousness, identifying with matter, and concentrate our focus on the dualities of this world. And this duality consists of raga and dvesha. Of course, just hearing without seeing the notes is different. Actually, I have the notes which this notes I shared. This note I shared, prayers of devotees. This I have posted in the group also. After this is the prayers I shared, and then after that, some more things which I could not. So, what is that ego that is holding us? That wrong identification. So, in this way, the sins actually reinforce the soul's ignorant identification and focuses on the duality. Okay, and the stronger this raga and dvesha are there, the lesser freedom we have. So it enslaves in the cycle of sin, and we become unable to serve Krishna because the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So this is what is uh, holding us, because I have unlimited lusty desires which are holding me. Because our consciousness is weighed down by influence of countless past sinful actions that pulls us back, our heart, and splits it. So there are a few more things, because how to become free from yes, Matish.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In this regard, can you remind me the difference between samskaras and vasanas?
Oh, sanskaras are the impressions that we got from all the lives, all the times. And vasanas are the set of samskaras which are manifesting in this life.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's
they
just a matter
are
of time.
samskaras manifest in this life.
Yeah, the only difference is the timing,
Yeah,
basically. The vasanas are the samskaras that manifest in this life.
yeah. Samskaras are much more deeper than vasanas. Vasanas are manifested, samskaras are not yet manifested. Like say somebody has some phobia of height or lift or some flight or some water or something, then what they do, they take into regressions and hypnotic regressions, and then he's taken to past 3 4 lives back, and then he's stabbed by somebody, and then they go through the same situations, and then he's free from that fear of knife or something, because he got that wrong impressions. So they are the sanskaras which are much more deeper.
Oh, I'm sorry, Prabhu. I really didn't understand this explanation. When you went into past life regression, I got lost.
Now, presently, some vasanas are manifested. That is, he's always afraid of knife or he's afraid of fire. That is
Yeah.
because of the impressions which he got 5 lifetimes back. He's burnt in a fire, so he's still afraid of fire. So in regression, they take him to the situation where he again sees himself in that situation, because now he
Uh-huh.
is an observer. He gets free from that fear. So now, if you are emotionally see you are involved in that, you get an impression. Now, if you are not emotionally involved, but you are observing that activity, then you will not get affected. Then he comes out of that fear, and then he's taken back, and he comes becomes normal. That fear goes away for him. Anyway, that is a different understanding, but basically this is a difference: sanskaras and vasanas. Maybe I'll explain it detail some other time. Why? Because if you are conscious, say you are watching a movie, you are very consciously watching a movie, you will not get emotionally affected by it, and you will not enjoy also. But you are
Uh,
emotionally involved in that movie, then you get affected, the pain, pleasure which they undergo, that is affecting you, because you are emotionally watching the movie. But you are very, very rationally watching. You say, oh, this person is acting. He must have paid this much for it. He got this much for this. The camera is like this is like this. If you are technically seeing the movie, then you'll not
mhm.
enjoy. Then you'll not get affected also. What is emotions going on there? So same thing. If you are going through certain situation in your life, if you are not emotionally involved, it will not have impression on your consciousness. But if too much emotionally affected, then it has an impression and it gives pain and pleasure. So,
And
but
and that's the some scars.
they are the samskaras.
Yeah, and they're affecting us so much because we are so emotionally invested in them because we didn't see what was the origin of the some scars. Can you say that? Because if I had seen the origin of why I was so affected, why I have this fear of heights today, right?
Yeah, because when you are emotionally involved in something, then then you get affected by that situation. If you are not emotionally involved, you will not get affected. You will not get karma only. So when you consciously do any activity, there is no karma. Unconscious activity, it comes as our karma. So even outside people, I think this is a very famous saying. The unconscious activity comes as your destiny because you get the impression on it and it becomes your sanskara and that is your karma.
Hmm. Okay, I have to do that one. But okay. Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
Yeah, like we have discussed this elaborately on Saturday session. Maybe this Saturday I can again elaborately explain tomorrow if you have
Oh,
time.
but you said you elaborately discuss
I
on.
explained previously we discussed, but tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock again when we take this class, I can explain more detail on this Vasana Sanskaras.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
So we will just we have two more verses to complete in our proper purport reading session. Not two more, but it is will complete. This process of creation and inflation described is in summary herein is regulative principles during the so herein is the regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. It also the regulative principle in creation of Mahat in which the material nature is dispersed. Because there are three different types of creations called Mahakalpa, Vikalpa, and Kalpa. Mahakalpa, the Lord assumes the first Purusha incarnation as Kshirodaksha Vishnu with all the potencies of Mahatattva and the 16 principles of creative matter and instrument. The creative instruments are 11. The ingredients are 5, and all of them are products of Mahat or the materialistic ego. These creations by the Lord in his features of Kshirodaksha Vishnu are called Mahakalpa. The creation of Brahma and the dispersion of the material ingredients are called Vikalpa. The creation by Brahma in each and every day of life of is called Kalpa. Therefore, each day of Brahma is called Kalpa. So there are three things: Mahakalpa, Vikalpa, and Kalpa. So Mahakalpa is at the level of Kshirodaksha Vishnu. And then the creation of Brahma and the dispersion of material ingredients are Vikalpa. And the creation of Brahman each and every day of his life is Kalpa. Therefore, each day of Brahma is called Kalpa, and there are 30 Kalpas in each of Brahma's month. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduku Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam Deho Ratri Vidojan. So, in the upper planetary system, the duration of one complete day and night is equal to one complete year of this year. This is accepted even by the modern scientists and attached attested by the astronomers. Similarly, in the of region of still higher planetary system, the duration in day and night is still greater than in the heavenly planets. The four yugas are calculated in terms of heavenly calendars and accordingly last 12,000 years in terms of heavenly planets. This is called Divya Yuga. And 1,000 Divya Yugas make one day of Brahma as mentioned above. The creation duration during the day of Brahma is called Kalpa. The creation of Brahma is called Vikalpa. And when Vikalpa are made possible by breathing of Mahavishnu is called Mahakalpa. These are the regular and systematic cycles of this Mahakalpa, Vikalpa, and Kalpa. So hope you all understood. This is simple. Mahavishnu is creating is Mahakalpa, and creation of Brahma is Vikalpa, and what Brahma creates is Kalpa, like that. These are the regular and systematic cycles. So in the Prabhas Skanda Puran also, Sukadeva Goswami replies this question. The 30 kalpas of Brahma called Sveta, Nila Lohita, Vamadeva, Gatantara, Raurava. So all these are 30 kalpas means 30 days of Brahma in a month. So they are all different names. This is Brahma's days only, and he has to live months of these days up to 100 years. So 12 months and then like that 100 years. So we can just imagine how many creations are there in Kalpa only. Then again, there are Vikalpas, which are mentioned above, are generated by breathing of Mahavishnu. It is stated in Brahma Samhita, Yasaika Nishwashrita Kala Matavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandana. Brahma lives only duration of breathing period of Mahavishnu. So the exhalation and inhalation of Vishnu are Mahakalpas, and they are all due to the personality of Godhead. No one else is the matter of all creation. O king, I shall in due course explain the measurement of time in its gross and subtle features with the specific symptoms of each, but for the present, let me explain unto you the Padma Kalpa. The present duration of Kalpa of Brahma is called Varaha Kalpa or Sveta Varaha Kalpa because the incarnation of Lord as Varaha took place during the creation of Brahma, who was born as the lotus coming out of the abdomen of Vishnu. Therefore, this Varaha Kalpa is also called Padma Kalpa, and which is testified by acharyas like Jiva Goswami as well as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in persons of the first commentator Sridhar Swami. So there is no contradiction between Varaha Kalpa and Padma Kalpa. So this is Varaha Kalpa also and Padma Kalpa also. Both it is called. So Umakant Prabhu has shared some things and vasanas and rule of vasanas. So the question 14, Indra Devas come and go in one day of Brahma. So what to speak of? Yeah. Yes. So Umakant Prabhu shares me, then I can share with all. Rishi Sanak Rishi, after hearing all about the creation, inquired from Suta Goswami about Vidura. Sir, Suta Goswami has previously informed him how Vidura left home, leaving aside all his relatives who are very difficult to live. So the Rishi headed by Saunaka were more anxious to know about Vidura, who met Maitreya after traveling in pilgrimage. This is Saunaka Rishi said, let us know now, please, what topics are discussed between Vidura and Maitreya, who talks on transcendental subjects, and what was inquired by Vidura and replied by Maitreya. Also, let us know the reason for Vidura's giving up the connection of his family members and why he went home. Please let us know the activity of Vidura while he is in place of pilgrimage. So Vidura was there in the 13th chapter and Dhritarashtra quits home. So that time Vidura came. So Srila Sutta Goswami was narrating the topics of creation and destruction of material world. But it appeared that the rishis headed by Sonaka were more inclined to hear the transcendental subjects which are on a higher level than this physical. There are two classes of men, namely those two addicted to the gross body and the material world, and the others on the higher level who are interested more in transcendental knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam gives facility for everyone, both to the materialistic and to the transcendentalist. But by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, the matter of Lord's glorious activity both in the material world and in the transcendental world, men can derive equal benefit. The materialistic are more interested in physical laws and how they are acting, and they see wonders in those physical glamour. Sometimes, due to physical glamour, they forget the glories of Lord. This is actually what happens to people. They should know definitely that physical activities and their works, wonders are all initiated by Lord. So the rose in the garden gradually takes its shape and color to become beautiful and sweet, not by a blind physical law. Although it appears like that, behind the physical law is the direction of the complete consciousness of Supreme Lord. Otherwise, things cannot take shape so systematically. The artist draw a picture of rose very nicely with all attention and artistic sense, and yet it does not become as perfect as real rose. So, if that is the real fact, how can we say that the real rose has taken its shape without intelligence behind that beauty? This sort of conclusion is due to poor fund of knowledge. One must know from the above description of creation and annihilation that the Supreme Consciousness, being omnipresent, can take care of everything with perfect attainment. That is the fact of the omnipresence of the Supreme Lord. Persons still more foolish than the gross materialistic, however, claims to be transcendentalist, claim to have such supreme, all pervading consciousness, but offer no proof. The Prabhupada says such foolish persons cannot know what is going on behind the next wall, yet they foolishly proud of possessing the cosmic, all pervading consciousness of Supreme Person. For them all, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is a great help. It will open their eyes to see that simply by claiming supreme consciousness, one does not become supremely conscious. One has to prove in the physical world that he has such supreme consciousness. The Rishi of Naimisharanya, however, were above the gross materialistic and the false transcendentalist, and thus they are always anxious to know the real truth in transcendental matter, as discussed by the author. Such a nice purport. I recommend everybody read once again. It's a nice thing. And last shloka, Sutta Goswami explained, I shall now explain to you the very subject explained by the great sages in answer to King Parikshit's question. Please hear from. So, Prabhupada nice rating. Any question that is put forward may be answered by quoting authority, and that satisfies the saner section. This is a system even in the court law. The best lawyer gives evidence from the past judgment of the court without taking much trouble to establish his case. This is called the parampara system, and learned authorities follow it without manufacturing rubbish interpretation. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigra Anadiradhir Govinda Sarvakarana. Let us all obey the Supreme Lord, whose hand is in everything without exception. Thus end the Bhakti and the purport of second canto, 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Bhagavatam is the answer of all questions. So we have successfully completed second canto purport reading section. Thank you all very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam